This title wasn't written, you would deliver. This message did not come from the mind of man, but from the mouth of the Most High, echoed through the voice of Archangel Michael and wrapped in divine fire. You are not here by chance. You did not stumble across this message because of a casual scroll or mindless search. You have been spiritually intercepted. You have been summoned into a sacred interruption, because heaven has a warning that can no longer be delayed. The time for subtle hints is over. This hour, this very moment, has been marked. And you, yes, you are the one being awakened. There is a presence that's been walking beside you, draining your spirit while cloaked in light. A voice that sounded warm but whispered doubt into your future. A person whose proximity has cost you more than you realized. This message is your divine signal, a supernatural alarm that was set before you even questioned the blockage. Here is a reason your spirit had been heavy. Here is a reason your steps have slowed. You've been loyal to someone, or something, that's been secretly assigned to delay your breakthrough. But heaven saw. Your ancestors saw. The archangels stood at attention, and now the veil is being torn. Within the next hour, revelation will strike like lightning, and the one who's caused the delay will be revealed. Their energy will begin to feel foreign. Their face may even appear in your dream. Their name may echo in your ear. What was hidden is now rising, and what was masked is now being uncovered. This is not a coincidence. It is a prophetic alignment, and the presence trying to reach you now is divine. Archangel Michael is sounding the trumpet, and the delay is about to be dismantled. You're not imagining this. That sensation in your chest, the tightening in your spirit, that sudden pause in your life's forward momentum, is not random. It is not paranoia. It is not confusion. It is intersection. I, Archangel Michael, speak now by divine instruction. You were summoned into this very moment by a force higher than your comprehension, because the time has come for the truth to be pulled from beneath the surface. Heaven has torn the veil, and you have been chosen to see. What you thought was hidden, what you assumed was delayed by chance or by fate, is in fact a spiritual entanglement, and it must be severed now. There is a reason you feel like something has been off. There is a reason you felt watched, drained, or pulled in two directions. That person, yes, the one who keeps circling back, who seems to be everywhere and yet offers nothing real, is not aligned with your divine path. You've been trying to carry their weight. You've been defending them in silence, excusing their energy, translating their absence into meaning. But it was never protection. It was distraction. You were spiritually tied to a presence that mimics light but resists truth. And now, the heavens are intervening. This is not just a message. This is your divine interruption. This is your celestial stop sign before a sacred turn in your journey. You were not meant to see this later. You were not meant to hear this when it was safe or convenient. You were meant to receive it now, because within the next hour, a portal of revelation is opening around you. Time is bending. Spirit is speaking. I am not here to whisper. I am here to awaken. Your spirit is being realigned. Your discernment is being sharpened, and your next step will either lead you into delay or deliverance. That is why heaven stepped in. That is why I, Michael, sword-bearer of divine truth, have entered this space. The warning is not to frighten you. It is to liberate you, because what you could not see is now demanding to be seen, and what you feared to admit is now being declared from the heavens. This is a sacred alert. The air around you is changing. Listen. The signs are gathering. The truth is knocking. And before this hour closes, something will be revealed to your spirit that will shift everything. You are not losing your mind. You are gaining your clarity. You are not overreacting. You are waking up. This is the sacred hour where your loyalty must return to your purpose, and your energy must be reclaimed from the one who keeps delaying your destiny. Heaven has called you out, not to shame you, but to shield you. You are being moved into divine awareness, and the moment you choose to listen, the clock of breakthrough begins to tick. If you feel this awakening in your spirit, type "I receive clarity 333" in the comments to anchor your alignment. That number carries the vibration of divine truth and angelic protection over your next steps. You have sensed it, felt it, doubted yourself about it. But now hear me clearly. The interference that has been delaying your divine movement is not some abstract energy. It is a person. It is a presence. It is someone whose role in your life was never ordained, only tolerated. They came close, they studied you, they mimicked concern, but behind their smile was a silent strategy. Behind their comfort was spiritual control. They positioned themselves as a helper, but they carried within them the vibration of delay. And what you mistook for loyalty was dependency. What you thought was protection was possession. This person did not simply walk with you. They weighed you down. This isn't confusion. It was calculation. And heaven is exposing it now because it cost you more than you realize. The spirit disguised itself through words of concern. They asked questions, but not to understand you, only to measure how close you were to unlocking your breakthrough. Every time you felt drained after speaking with them, that was not coincidence. Every time your clarity dimmed after interacting with them, that was warfare. Your joy began to leak. Your focus began to blur. And the worst part, you blamed yourself. You wondered if you were the problem, if you were being too sensitive, too cautious, too intense. But no, your spirit was sounding the alarm. Your soul was crying for distance. You gave them access because they wore the mask of support. But spiritually, they were feeding off your delay. Their attachment was never to your growth. It was to your stagnation. Every time you tried to rise, they appeared. Every time you pulled away, they resurfaced. They are not just a person. They are a tether, a spiritual hook sent to keep you within reach of the past. And I speak this to you not in anger, but in divine love. You have outgrown them. Spiritually, emotionally, energetically. The vibration of your calling is no longer compatible with the frequency of their deception. You were loyal to their potential, but blind to their spiritual influence. But now, heaven has removed the blindfold, and you are being commanded to see. You may feel the sting of betrayal. You may question how someone you trusted could be the very root of your delay. But understand this, it is not a reflection of your failure. It is a reflection of your growth. The divine is not exposing this person to punish you. The exposure is protection. The unmasking is mercy. You were too anointed to stay tied to someone who feared your evolution. And so heaven arranged a divine confrontation. Not so you could fight, but so you could finally walk away. Because the weight of delay must be cut. The person responsible must be revealed. And your path must be cleared. This is not judgment. It is justice. If this message confirms what your soul already suspected, type "unmasked" and "free" 555 in the comments. The number 555 signifies divine intervention, sudden change, and spiritual release. Speak it aloud. Anchor it in your atmosphere. You are stepping out of sabotage and into sacred movement. You thought you were imagining things. You questioned whether the signs were real. But now you must hear this in truth. Those were not coincidences. They were confirmations. Every dream, every strange encounter, every repeated number or sudden disruption in your environment, heaven has been trying to get your attention. And I, Archangel Michael, am here to validate what your soul already knew. Spirit hath been speaking. Angels have been moving. And your entire atmosphere has been delivering messages meant to awaken you before the weight of delay could bury you. Have you been seeing snakes in your dreams? Doors that won't open. Water you can't cross. Fire that surrounds but never consumes. These were not ordinary symbols. They were sacred codes. The snake was not just a creature. It was a warning of betrayal. The locked door was not failure. It was divine protection. The overwhelming water signaled emotional cleansing, while the fire marked a spiritual refining. You weren't being tormented. You were being taught. Your dreams were not random. They were instruction wrapped in symbolism. Even the name you keep hearing in repetition, the number that follows you in unexpected places, 111 333 555, they were sent to jolt your spiritual awareness. That person you kept thinking about, a wind longing, that was a divine red flag. Heaven was whispering, pay attention. You've woken at 3:33 a.m. and felt your body burn. You've had moments of deep fatigue after interacting with certain people. You've stood in silence and felt watched, only to brush it off as overthinking. But now you know. That exhaustion was a spiritual leak, a heat in your hands, angelic activity, a tightness in your chest, a soul boundary being crossed. Even nature itself has been enlisted. A bird that wouldn't leave your window, a butterfly that followed your path, a black cat that appeared out of nowhere, all sent as living signs. Your spirit was never without guidance. You were not being ignored. You were being instructed. But the time for subtlety has ended. Now, revelation must be made plain. You may recall that object which suddenly broke, without warning, without reason. A mirror, a glass, a bracelet, something significant to your connection with that person. That was not clumsiness. That was spiritual severing. When the energy no longer serves your path, the divine will begin to shake your environment. Heaven disrupts what you refuse to discern. And now the shaking is done. You're being given clear sight. The interference was never just emotional. It was energetic. And the signs you saw were heaven's way of preserving your soul until you were strong enough to walk away. This is your confirmation. What your intuition whispered, what your dreams revealed, what the symbols confirmed, it was all leading to this moment. The unmasking, the release, the sacred clarity that only comes when spirit overrides confusion. You are not losing your mind. You are stepping into divine sanity. And now that you know, you can no longer pretend not to. The signs have spoken. The heavens have confirmed. And your liberation is in motion. If you recognize the signs now and your spirit resonates with this awakening, type "I saw the signs 111" in the comments. The number 111 is the code of new alignment, divine confirmation, and spiritual clarity. Declare it boldly. It is your signature of awakening. The time of concealment has ended. The mask that once shielded the truth is now cracking under the pressure of divine timing. What was whispered in secret will echo in public. What was hidden behind charm, behind false support, behind carefully chosen words and emotional manipulation, will now stand exposed in the light of spiritual judgment. You don't need to lift a finger. You don't need to force a confession. The divine has already orchestrated the moment of unmasking. Whether through a mistake, a misstep, a dream, or a sudden revelation, you will see it. You will feel it. You will know. This is the moment heaven has prepared. And I, Archangel Michael, am here to ensure that you don't look away when the unveiling begins. Do not be surprised when you begin to feel distance, when their energy shifts, when their presence seems to evaporate, when they begin to avoid your eyes. That is not guilt, it is exposure. Your spirit is already aware that the divine is revealing them. What they covered for months, sometimes years, is surfacing now, and it will not be dramatic. It will not be chaotic. It will be precise. You may receive an accidental text. You may overhear a conversation not meant for you. A dream may flash across your mind like a burning scroll. The very person you thought would protect you will speak the truth without meaning to. This is divine orchestration in motion. The silence you felt was not heaven's absence. It was heaven's preparation. You are not required to retaliate. You are not being asked to fight. Your only assignment now is to observe, to remain in spiritual alignment, to stand still while heaven dismantles what was built on deception. The trap they set for your heart is now catching their own lies. The energy they sent to delay you is reversing course. What they tried to manipulate will now speak against them. Heaven is already moving. The angels are already working. Divine justice is not only promised, it has begun. And you will witness it with spiritual clarity. You won't have to guess anymore. You won't have to wonder if you're imagining it. The divine is about to make it undeniable. You may be tempted to confront. You may feel the urge to speak, to act, to expose them with your own hands. But listen closely, this is not your fight. This is a spiritual matter, and heaven has taken full jurisdiction. The mask is falling because it no longer has a place in your story. That person, that energy, that influence is being removed, not because you are weak, but because you are elevating. Your access to you was never eternal. Your role was never meant to follow you into the next level. This unmasking is not the end of your peace. It is the beginning of it. Do not mourn what is being removed. Rejoice for what is being revealed. Because clarity is the mercy you didn't know you needed. You are now entering a phase where your discernment will sharpen, where silence will speak louder than words, where patterns will reveal more than apologies. And your role is simple. Stay aligned. Stay in peace. Stay in prayer. Do not be lured back into confusion. You are watching the heavens execute a divine reversal. The same energy that caused delay is now powerless under divine light. And this light, it is blinding, it is sacred, and it is just. If you are ready to see what heaven is exposing and commit to standing still in spiritual alignment, type "I will not look away" 444. The number 444 carries the vibration of angelic order, divine protection, and sacred unveiling. Let it be your decree of strength and surrender. You've lost more than you admitted. You've given more than they ever acknowledged. And now, as truth emerges, your soul is starting to whisper what your heart has been afraid to say. I was delayed. Yes, beloved, you were. You were delayed emotionally, spiritually, even financially, because of the presence that stood beside you pretending to support while secretly resisting. And I speak this not to wound you, but to wake you. You did imagine the heaviness. You did make up the silence. What was taken from you, your clarity, your momentum, your faith in your own discernment, was real. And it was orchestrated by someone who saw your light as something to leech from, not lift. Let me tell you what was interfered with. Your opportunities were rerouted. Divine appointments were postponed. Your peace was put on hold because their energy became an unauthorized force in your field. Your prayers felt blocked. Your joy felt muted. And the vision you once held with such power became blurry because you were fighting a war your heart refused to name. But now you see. Now you know. The delay was not due to your lack of faith. It was not your indecision. It was not your weakness. It was the spiritual toll of carrying a person who was never meant to walk at your pace. And though it hurt, this delay has not destroyed you. Heaven preserved what was yours. Heaven hid your blessing from the wrong eyes. Everything you felt you missed, every door that seemed to close, every opportunity that slipped through your fingers, was not lost. It was protected. The delay was divine. You weren't being punished. You were being shielded. Because what good is a blessing in the wrong company? What good is favor when it attracts envious hearts? The divine withheld your next level until the interference could be removed, until your soul could recognize the subtle sabotage for what it was, until your heart could detach from who you wanted them to be and accept who they truly are. And now that you're seeing clearly, everything is beginning to realign. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are being rerouted onto the path that was always yours. But now, without interference, without energetic entanglements, without false loyalty clouding your steps, what was delayed will now accelerate. The love that seemed distant will come in pure form. The opportunity that felt lost will return with divine timing. Your spiritual hearing will sharpen, and your heart will breathe again. The pain you've carried was real, but so is the restoration that is now being released. And I, Archangel Michael, speak this as divine truth. You did lose it. You were being preserved. And even now, heaven is preparing to return what was paused, to restore what was bent, to resurrect what you thought had died. But this time, it will arrive in fullness. This time, it will come without the burden of sabotage. You are not entering the same space. You are entering healed. And that healing has cost you more than words can express. But it is worth it. Because what is ahead of you is greater than what was lost. And the weight has prepared your soul to carry what's coming with wisdom, with power, and with protection. If you believe restoration is already in motion for what was delayed, type the delay was divine 777. The number 777 represents completion, divine fulfillment, and spiritual reward. Let this be your declaration of trust and readiness. Can you feel it? That stirring in your spirit, that shift in your atmosphere, that moment where something breaks without noise, that is the beginning of your liberation. This is not just a moment of emotional release. This is a sacred breakthrough. The energy that once wrapped itself around your heart like a cord, the presence that seemed to follow you like a shadow, it is breaking now. You are being unhooked from what was holding you. You are being loosed from delay. And though it may not be loud, though it may not be dramatic, the shift is real. I, Archangel Michael, am watching as the divine scissors of heaven cut through the last thread of sabotage. The spirit that once drained you is being evicted from your field. The interference is dissolving, and peace is pouring in like light. This shift won't be loud. It will be sacred. You will feel it in your breath, in your bones, in the silence of your heart. You will notice that your thoughts begin to clear. The heaviness in your chest will lift. The confusion that once followed you like a fog will begin to part like clouds after a storm. That's not imagination. That's healing. The person who once held emotional control over you may suddenly go quiet. Let them. Don't chase the silence. Don't seek the closure. The divine has spoken. Your silence is confirmation. Their distance is your sign. Their absence is heaven's proof that they no longer have access to your spirit. The tears may come. Let them. The breath you didn't know you were holding may finally release. Let it. That's your soul exhaling. It's your nervous system resetting. That's your body recognizing safety again. You are not just recovering. You are being reborn. What once felt like emotional imprisonment has now turned into spiritual freedom. This breakthrough is not about revenge. It's about release. And you don't have to explain it to anyone. You don't have to justify your peace. This is between you and the divine. The internal shift is the most powerful shift of all. Because when your energy rises, your entire life follows. Your frequency is being upgraded. Your field is being cleansed. Your purpose is accelerating. You will find that things begin to align again. Conversations open doors. Connections appear effortlessly. Peace begins to hover over your home. You are no longer weighed down. The veil is gone. The sabotage has no foothold. And the shift is sacred. It is personal. It is prophetic. Do not be alarmed if you feel sudden distance from people you once clung to. That's the old energy being cleared. You're no longer vibrating at the frequency that attracted confusion. You're no longer available to the energy of delay. What once fit no longer will. That's not a loss. It's your growth demanding space. There will be a stillness now. A pause. Do not rush to fill it. Let the silence minister to you. Let the clarity settle in. You are walking into a new dimension of spiritual awareness. And from this space, your discernment will protect you. Your alignment will guide you. Your energy will attract only what is meant. And everything that is not meant will bounce off your field like light on a shield. You have crossed a line in the spirit, and nothing behind you can follow. If you feel the sacred shift and claim your breakthrough with faith, type "I receive the shift" 888. The number 888 carries the vibration of renewal, breakthrough, and the flow of divine abundance. Let it be sealed in your spirit. Now listen to me, and listen carefully, because this is the part the enemy hopes you'll ignore. Right before full liberation, there comes one final test. One final knock at the door of your discernment. One last attempt by the saboteur to pull you back into delay. It may arrive softly. It may sound like healing. It may look like an apology, feel like nostalgia, or wear the mask of unfinished business. But this is not restoration. It is a trap. The energy you just broke free from may try to return, not because it has changed, but because it senses you've finally risen above it. Do not fall for the bait. They may say everything you once longed to hear. They may act as though they've awakened, as if they suddenly see your value. But I tell you by divine authority, this is not alignment. It is a hook. This is not clarity. It is a counterfeit peace. You do not need one more conversation. You do not need to revisit the cycle. You do not need to see what else might happen. This is not your opportunity to fix it. This is your test to finally seal it. Because if you say yes now, you reopen the gate you just fought to close. This is the last reach of delay trying to claw back into your soul. And heaven is watching to see if you've truly learned to protect your peace. They'll offer peace, but it's poison. They'll say, "I miss you," but they really miss your access. They don't mourn the bond, they mourn the withdrawal. And you, beloved, have too much oil to waste on yesterday's fire. You cannot resurrect what heaven buried. You cannot entertain what your soul outgrew. This final test will not feel like war. It will feel like comfort. That's what makes it dangerous. You'll feel the tug in your heart, the doubt in your mind, the ache in your memory. But remember, silence is spiritual power. You don't need to respond. You don't need to explain. You don't owe them the version of you they helped delay. What you owe now is to your destiny. This is the moment where you stand taller, where you recognize that love without alignment is still bondage, that comfort without peace is still chaos. You're not turning your back, you're taking your power back. And I, Archangel Michael, stand guard beside you. If you choose peace over the past, discernment over emotional bait, spiritual clarity over recycled hope, then the gate to your next level will not only open, it will accelerate. This is a divine threshold. Cross it with courage. And if they come again, if they whisper your name in softness, if they reappear in a dream, if they send a message cloaked in memory, remember what you've walked through. Remember what it cost you. Remember what you felt when their presence delayed your blessing. And declare within yourself, not this time. Not again. Never again. Because the test is not about them. It's about whether you trust the new version of you that chose to rise. You've passed the storm. Don't be fooled by the quiet it leaves behind. Let that silence become your sanctuary, not your snare. You are not missing anything. You are making space for everything that was always meant for you. Choose with strength. Choose with heaven. Choose with peace. If you are ready to pass this final test and walk forward without turning back, type I choose peace 999. The number 999 marks the completion of karmic cycles and the emergence of divine endings that lead to sacred beginnings. Now hear me clearly, beloved. The unmasking has happened. The shift has arrived. The breakthrough is real. You are no longer bound. You are no longer confused. You are no longer circling cycles that were only designed to delay your destiny. What was once concealed has now been fully revealed. The person, the energy, the assignment of sabotage, they no longer hold spiritual authority in your field. The chains are broken. The fog is lifted. You are walking in light that darkness can no longer imitate. This is your divine confirmation that everything you endured was not in vain. The sleepless nights, the anxious thoughts, the battles within your spirit, they were all part of a war that you have now won. The exposure was not punishment, it was permission. Permission to reclaim your energy. Permission to walk in spiritual clarity. Permission to trust your discernment again. And now, as heaven seals this moment, I, Archangel Michael, declare this over your life. The energy is cleared. The cycle is broken. The delay is over. From this moment forward, your discernment will lead you. Your boundaries will protect you. Your peace will guard you. The one who caused your delay had been revealed, and heaven has removed their access. You will feel lighter. You will hear clear. You will dream in alignment again. This is not just the end of deception. It is the dawn of divine restoration. What was withheld will now be released. What was paused will now exhilarate. The blessing that was rerouted is now returning, uncontaminated, unbothered, and undeniable. Now speak these declarations aloud, with authority, wherever you are. I am aligned with heaven's order. I do not chase confusion. I protect peace. Every hidden delay is now exposed and removed. I receive what was mine, in full, with clarity. I walk in divine authority. No weapon formed shall prosper. Let your words seal this moment. Let your spirit rise in confidence. Let your faith catch fire because you have crossed over. There is nothing left behind that you need. There is no presence you must return to. There is no delay that can touch you again. And as I go before you with my sword, heaven backs your movement. Divine favor follows your steps. And from this moment on, you are walking in holy restoration. If this prophetic message confirms what your soul already knew, type Amen 111, 333, 555 in the comments now. These numbers carry the frequency of divine alignment, angelic protection, and prophetic movement. Let it be your final agreement. Let it be your sacred seal. Your liberation is complete. Your restoration has begun. The heavens rejoice with you now.